Awesome. We are live. Hello, everybody. I'm just going to give it a few minutes for everyone to hop on, as always. As you guys hop on, feel free to say hello in the comments. Let me know if you're new or if you're returning. Let me know where you're tuning in from. Hey, Kevin, welcome. Happy Saturday. I hope you guys are having a great night so far. So we're just gonna vibe here, hang out. For those of you who are new, I'm a manifestation coach. So I speak about law of attraction, manifestation, law of assumption, and all the things that come along with that, you know, self-concept, manifesting techniques, all the things. So we're going to be doing a live chat about that. So essentially like free live coaching. So if you have any questions as it pertains to manifestation, feel free to drop them in the comments. Hello to everyone hopping on. Welcome. And then I'm also offering readings here on the live. So I'm going to pull, as always, if you're new, this is how I do my lives. If you're returning, you already know. I'm going to pull some cards for the general energy for anyone tuning into this stream, either live or the replay. And then if you would like a personal reading here, they're $30. The link, you can either send me on my Venmo, or if you click the link in my bio, there will be an option for Venmo or PayPal. And then you just let me read the little blurb on there and let me know what type of reading you want. Okay, so we can read on love, career, finances, health, self-love, what you need to know, all the things. Okay. It'll tell you a little blurb about something. People ask about the readings. Just if you want to know about the readings, just click the link on my bio, and then it will be, you scroll down, I think it's like the third tab there, and it says TikTok live readings. Okay. And I'll give you all the info on that. And then once you've sent a payment, just let me know what you'd like me to read on. Okay. But I'm going to start off with live reading, just a general live reading. Okay. Hello to everyone hopping on. And then what we'll be doing is, as far as what we'll be talking about here in the live, is manifestation, law of assumption, law of attraction, self-concept, how to manifest an SP, how to manifest physical changes, how to manifest money, you know, how to manifest whatever you want. So I'm a manifestation coach. I focus on mindset and energetic alignment. So any of those types of questions, feel free to drop them in the comments. Anything you would need, hey Ashley, anything you would need as far as how to connect with me further. If you want to watch the replay of this live or my past lives, that's on my YouTube, and that's linked in my bio, as well as all the ways you can work with me, like one-on-one sessions, email coaching, private readings not on the lives, self-paced programs, my self-concept guide, all of those things will be there. Okay. And I did just release a wealth mind, like to align with wealth bundle. It's a subliminal it's a bundle with subliminal and affirmation tracks. Okay. And it's, you download it and it's yours to keep. So that's also linked at the top of my page too, if you guys want to check that out. That's my newest thing. And I am going to be creating more of those. So I would love to hear your guys' feedback as far as what topics you'd be interested in, as far as other audio tracks and subliminal tracks, like affirmation things, different tools. Let me know, because I'm trying to decide what to do next. Let me go back and read through the comments here, okay? It's very rare that I'm on a Saturday evening, so I'm super excited to be here with you guys and vibe with you, and hopefully read for some of you and answer any of your manifesting questions, okay? Hi, Michael. Welcome. Okay, I see people asking for readings. If you want a reading, guys, they're $30. Link is in my bio, or you can send it to me on Venmo. Sorry, I just laugh at the Christian Bible thumper comments. Okay. There's a lot of spam. I need to get a mod. Ashley, I need to figure out how to make you a moderator or something, because you're on here most of the time. Ashley says, I sent a friend to your YouTube today. I know she will love your content. Oh, I appreciate that. Thank you. That's amazing. Health is wealth. Yes, it is. Hi, Phil. How are you? Okay, so yeah, and guys, of course, if you're enjoying this live, feel free to share it out too. That way the algorithm will bump it. I'm usually on like during the day, during the week, but I have some time tonight, so why not? Here we are. I'm going to pull a card from my deck, The Universe Has Your Back by Gabby Bernstein, if you guys are familiar with her. So this will be like a good affirmation for, you know, just whatever you need to hear, okay? So let's pull that. You guys need to know. And just know this is general, okay? These aren't personal readings. Personal readings I can do during the live, but you got to go to the link in my bio. Hi, Allie. Welcome. Okay. We have, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is in the highest good of all. Okay. So this would be a good segue into our discussion tonight. And then, like I said, feel free to drop any comments or questions in the comments below, okay? So if you are new to me, this will be the first time you're hearing this. If you're returning, you've heard me talk about this all of the time. Ashley says, so perfect. I did a meditation on releasing fear last night. See, always aligned, right? Okay, so when I talk about energy, so I like to explain manifesting from an energetic standpoint, not just mindset, right? Because you can be working on your mindset, but if you're not shifting your energy, like you're only doing it halfway. So what I like to explain is when you are tense, when you're anxious, when you're fearful, when you're doubting, you're not believing you can have what you want, or you're really like in this frantic energy, trying to manifest from that energy. Your energy is like this, it's tight. And everything you want's out here, and you're not letting it in because you're blocking yourself from it because you're so tight. You're only seen within your little fear bubble, okay? So as we work on regulating your nervous system, as we work on releasing resistance, as we work on thinking better thoughts, but also allowing yourself to feel better in this moment. And you can do this, we'll get more into this, but you can do this with general affirmations such as everything's working out for me. I don't have to control this. The more I let go, the more I receive. So as you work with your mind and your body to be in a more relaxed, open state, meaning you're not focusing on the fear, you're not focusing on the limits, you're not focusing on what you think is going wrong or lack or any of that. What happens to you energetically is you begin to loosen up. You begin to open up. And as you do this, where everything's connected, right? If you understand Neville Goddard's teachings, everyone is you pushed out, but also understanding the law of one, everything's connected. It's all you. It's all happening within your own conscious awareness. But if you don't understand it like that, just understand we're all connected. Everything's connected. So as you open up, as you release resistance, you begin to have an experience of letting more in because you're allowing yourself to perceive how you are connected with everything. Does this make sense? Let me know, because I can explain this differently, because I want you guys to really get this, because when I started getting this, this was a big game changer for me, okay? So when we're like this, it's like we got the blinders on. We can only see as much as is in here. But quantum physics, everything's available right here, right now. So it's not a matter of needing to force something. It's not a matter of trying to get something from outside of us. It's a matter of opening up to be able to perceive it. And as you do that, you have an experience of integrating with it. You already are one with it. So you've probably heard people say things along the lines, if you're in this community, of what you want is already yours, it's already done. And from a fearful, tight, energetic space, you can't see it. You can't understand that. So as we soften our energy, as we practice relaxing, as we practice being more present, as we practice building our faith and trust that what we want is inevitable, when we work on our self-worth, I'm worthy of what I want. When we work on understanding that nothing's off limits, you can be, do, have whatever you want. These kinds of practices will help you relax and soften and open. And as you do that, any problems that were occurring for you in this tight, energetic, fearful state start to fall away and the solutions come in. So I explain this a lot. I try to explain it in different ways here and there because I know for me along my journey, it took me a lot hearing it often before it finally clicked. But that's what happens in our brains, you know. So a lot of the work I do is working on reprogramming your conscious and subconscious mind. So when we understand neuroplasticity, basically, and like Abraham Hicks says, if you're an Abraham Hicks follower, a belief is simply a thought you continue to think. And what she means by that is every time we think a thought, every thought we think is an affirmation. And as we think thoughts, we're forming neural pathways in our brain, and that becomes like the program that's running on autopilot behind the scenes, your subconscious mind, okay? And just for anyone who's new, the way I like to explain this to my clients and on these lives is you can think of your subconscious programming as, you know, just your autopilot default setting, right? So you're not intentionally needing to send oxygen to your blood, right? And have blood pumping through your veins. Like your subconscious mind is running your body for you. But you can have a maybe better understanding of this where you think about maybe when you're driving somewhere, like let's say you're driving to work every day and you know the route like the back of your hand, and you are on a phone call or you're lost in thought or you're vibing to some music and you're not paying attention to where you're going because you're wrapped up thinking about something else because you already kind of know where you're going. And then you get to your destination and you think, wow, I actually don't remember driving here. Well, your conscious mind, which mind you is only 5% maximum, many studies say it's actually less, was shut down. Not shut down, but it wasn't thinking about driving. It was thinking about other things, right? The music, your phone call, your to-do list, whatever, right? So what happens when your conscious mind is thinking about something else is your subconscious mind kicks in. It's always trying to keep you safe. And your subconscious mind knows the route to work because you've done it so many times, right? And that takes over. And so what happens is a lot of us are just going through our lives, kind of experiencing life like Groundhog's Day, wondering why everything's the same. And it's because like no matter how much you want something consciously, if you have subconscious programs that are going against that, that's what's going to take over because your brain wants to keep you safe. But the thing is, you were not born with these limits. You were not born with these fears. You were not born with these fucked up ways of seeing yourself in the world and these limits around what you get to have, right? So those happened over time based off of what was mirrored to you through your family or your caregivers. It was formed over time based off of experiences you had and the conclusions that you made because of those experiences. And this all happens pretty much usually unconsciously. But now, once you come to the law of assumption, once you start understanding manifestation, you want to take your power back and really intentionally create your reality, what you can do is you can go in and reprogram those things. So the first step is you want to look at what beliefs are holding you back. If you want more money, what beliefs do you have that are blocking you from having more money? Could be things like if you grew up hearing like money's hard. The more money you make, the more taxes you have to pay. Ooh, IRS, you know? Or if you had wealthy neighbors and your parents were talking shit about the wealthy neighbors. And so you formed a belief as a little kid that rich people are bad, or you got to do something bad to have lots of money, or you have to do something you don't want to do, or that you're just not the kind of person who can make above a certain income level. You know, like, what are the wacky beliefs you have going on that are blocking you from making more money? And you can apply this to anything: having the body you want, the love you want, the career you want, the lifestyle you want, anything, all of it, right? So you want to become aware of where are these fearful stories that are stopping us from having what we want. And then you can work on releasing those. So not only do you release those, hang on one second. Block and mute some of these. I just don't like I love going live. I just don't like the trolls on here. Sorry. Just blocking some trolls. Okay. So not only can you work on releasing those stories, so you want to look at these things and say, like, are they ultimately true? And the thing is, it's not. If it goes against what you want, then it's not ultimately true. Like, whatever you believe to be true is what will become true. This is what we know with law of assumption. And so you have a choice in what you choose to believe. Again, a belief is just a thought you've continued to think. So oftentimes, we've just accepted other people's beliefs because we've heard it so much and we just assume that that's how things are. But I guarantee you there are people all around the world living a different experience because they have a different set of rules, whether or not they are consciously aware of it. Okay, so not only can you work on disproving these limiting beliefs, you can also then go in and intentionally reprogram for what you want, right? So if you have a belief, let's keep on going with the money example, that money's hard, a belief that would serve you would be, money is easy. I get to make a lot of money. I get to make money easily. Making money gets to be fun, things like this. And it takes time. You'll be the moderator for me. Thank you. Yeah, because every once in a while I block the creepers, but it's takes up too much time and energy for me. So, it's a combination usually of, becoming aware of what the limits are, intentionally relaxing your body, because as you relax your body, you're actually recoding your subconscious mind for, I am safe. I don't need to be in survival mode, right? If you're familiar with Neville Goddard's work, I teach a lot about his concepts. He talks about living in the end, embodying the state of the wish fulfilled. Well, what is that? If you had everything you wanted, you'd be in a state of peace, right? You'd be like, oh my God, life is good. This is amazing. You might not be super excited, to be honest. I know a lot of people think it's super excited, but it's kind of like when you want a new car and then you get the new car, it's like after a few weeks, the excitement kind of wears off because that's just your new normal. You've set that as your new baseline of what you expect, right? Same with when you manifest in the relationship or you lose the weight or whatever you want, right? So it's kind of normalizing the new identity of the person who now has that desire, right? And so part of using these reprogramming tools such as affirmations, visualizations, subliminals, using nighttime tracks, all these things that you hear me talk about, is that you're repeating a new idea. You're feeding a new idea to your brain on repeat so that it forms new neural pathways. So you can think of it here's your old identity, your old way you view yourself. Oh, this is my name, this is my age, I only attract players, I never make over 100K a year or month, whatever. I weigh this much, losing weight's hard for me, whatever. It's your shitty old self-concept, right? And then you're going to work on building a new self-concept. I'm hot as fuck. Losing weight's easy. I have my dream body. I make well over 6 figures a year. I'm doing work I love. I attract people who want to commit to me. I'm amazing, right? It's going to sound like BS to your brain at first because you're have all this examples of why it's not true. You have all of this evidence, but it's only because that's what you've told yourself unconsciously. So now you're intentionally creating your reality. So you're going to pick the new identity and you're going to start feeding that, and you feed it through different things I'm talking about, right? And you feed it and feed it and feed it and feed it and feed it until it becomes more than this, right? So until this takes over, the more you feed the new self-concept, the more the old self-concept will just dissolve. So as far as general affirmations, if you guys have been on my lives lately, you've heard me talk about a really amazing kind of blanket affirmation statement. And guys, if you want to learn more about how to master your self-talk and how to manifest by mastering your self-concept, you can check out my self-concept guide. Okay. So that is under the work with me tab, and then go under self-paced programs, and it's there. Okay. Because I explain to you how to form all these different affirmations, and if some affirmations are causing resistance, how to soften them, how to make them work for you. Okay. I'm getting distracted now. Thank you, Matthew. Okay, trolls, I'm going to tell you what you can do. You can send me money on Venmo, okay? And just not comment. That's what you guys can do. My Venmo's in the title, so have at it. You guys can have a contest and see who sends me the most money. Okay. Ashley says, I do love that you're wearing a green dress. I've been wanting one like that color. You know what? I almost got rid of this because I was it's so bright. And then I told myself, oh, I'll hold on to it just in case for St. Patty's Day. And then I'm just fuck it. I actually like this color. I'm going to wear it. So where was I, guys? Hang on. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone. So all this to say, I'm talking about affirmations, how to reprogram your subconscious mind. But if you've been on my lives lately, I was talking about how a good blanket statement, okay, yes, this is what I was saying, I got back on track. Blanket affirmation, which I go into these in my self-concept guide, okay? But one you can say is, all of my problems are resolved, or all of my problems fix themselves or resolve themselves, okay? Or my problems are taking care of themselves. Something like this that gets you out of the energy of the problem. And so as I was explaining, you know, as you raise your self-concept of someone who's lucky, of someone who gets what they want, of someone who's abundant and successful and loved and adored and beautiful and sexy and has everything you want, the old identity starts to fall away. Like the new identity drowns out the old identity, and the problems will resolve themselves. Sometimes they literally just disappear because you gave them enough space, or things will shift in your outer reality to make your new identity true. So I'm going to keep on with the money example for right now. Like, let's say you're someone who's had a bad self-concept when it comes to money. You think that making money's hard. You're constantly in debt. There's never enough. You know, you have a lot of scarcity programs going on. Okay. If you would just stick with the new identity of, I am wealthy, I am affluent, I'm debt-free, I make a lot of money, I always have more than enough money. Money is easy for me. In fact, I don't even think about money that much because it's just a normal part of my everyday life. I always have more than enough. If you would affirm that, your debt would just go away. Like, okay, like, and I've had and Ashley, you commented something on the last live about how you manifested some debt just going away. Like I've done this personally, and I've witnessed it with clients and other people I know, where like crazy things will happen. Like you'll get a credit on your credit card statement, or you'll just manifest money, or something will just randomly get paid off and you don't know how, or like things like that will happen. And I know that may seem a little crazy to people, but you know, this reality is not so fixed like we think it is. And this is why we always talk about the 3D. Circumstances don't matter. The 3D is not real. Everything you think is so real that you can see, smell, taste, and touch outside of you, it's only a projection of the image you're holding of yourself in your mind. So as you go within and you change who you believe yourself to be, who you choose to be, right? Like you're the only one choosing this, right? If you do that inner work and you just detach from what the 3D says, if you could stop believing in the 3D, if you could stop emotionally reacting to the people and shit outside of you and just go within and choose who you want to be and fully commit to that, it has no choice but to show up. And sometimes you'll do this thing that we call quantum leaping, where you're like, I have no idea how I got here, but I went from like one day, it's just like, you know, like when you meet the love of your life, it's like you're single, and then boom, one day you meet the love of your life and you're just in a new reality, right? Like, and that can happen with money, that can happen with your body, that can happen with whatever you want. Like Matthew says it's all an illusion. We are consciousness. Exactly. What's that quote? It says like, you are the dream and the dreamer. Like it's all happening within you. But what happens when you find yourself emotionally reacting to the 3D, when you feel stuck in cycles, is you've bought into the illusion. You took on this role. You've been playing this identity. You've been playing this role in your life, and you have done such a good job acting that you've believed it. You've like really believed that this is who you are, and you forgot that you are God. You are consciousness. You have the ability to shift at any point in time. Okay. And you do have to be patient with yourself, because like, it's kind of like, have you ever had like a bad dream and then at some point you become aware that you're dreaming, but you're not fully woken up yet, and you have to kind of like let yourself wake up? If you've ever experienced that, it's kind of like that. You know, I've explained this to some of my private clients. You know, in what type of dream would you be unlucky? Would love suck? Would money suck? Would you be in shitty health? Would you be in shitty circumstances? In a nightmare, right? So it's like you have to just like allow the nightmare to dissolve. You don't wake up from a nightmare by fighting against the characters in your nightmare. No, you wake up from the nightmare by realizing, oh wow, okay, I'm dreaming. This is just a dream. It's not real. I'm safe. I'm gonna wake up. Let me just stay calm and relax. Yeah? I manifest Hannah and Corey together for dinner. Well, good luck, because I'm gay and I'm taken. But you can dream about that in your reality. Have fun with that. And my Venmo's at the top of my thing. Okay, so you gotta wake up from the dream, okay? And you don't wake up from it by reacting to it, because when you're reacting to it, it's simply a sign that, and I was about to blow your cover. I love you, Ashley. I still have not Googled how to make moderators on here, but I'm gonna figure it out. Actually, let me click on your name, see. So, but anyway, like when you're reacting, it's because you're just still not fully understanding that it's a dream, and that's okay. I'm adding you. Okay. Ashley, I think I added you. You don't have to do anything if you don't want to. But Matthew says he'll moderate. Matthew, you seem cool. I want to get to know you on a couple more lives before I add you. I know Ashley because she's one of my clients and she's like on almost every live. That wasn't that hard. I just clicked a button. But thank you guys, because I'll definitely, like, my goal is to have a couple moderators. So Matthew, is this your first time catching me? I don't know if I've seen you on a live before, because I'm usually not on at this time. I kind of go on whenever, but you know. But welcome to everyone who's here, and thank you for being here. You guys are great. So yeah, just understanding, like, it would just be in a nightmare where bad things would be happening, okay? So just remind yourself general things like, okay, it's not real. The 3D is not real. I'm safe. This is just because of old programming. This is just because of old ways of thinking. I'm not stuck here. I'm never stuck. I can be, do, and have whatever I want. I'm infinite. The entire universe is on my side. The infinite intelligence within me knows exactly how to align me with everything I want in the best possible way. I don't have to control it. I don't have to figure it out. I just choose what I want, and then I choose to believe that I will receive it. It's like so I'm not a Bible thumper. For the Bible thumpers who are here, I think they already left after they told me I was damned to hell. But, you know, in the Bible, it says that as you believe, so it shall be done unto you. Okay? And whatever you believe, whatever you ask, believe that you have received this. Okay? So it's like Abraham Hicks talks about this too. Ask, believe, receive. You've asked. The moment you have identified there's something you want, you've asked. When you live something that's really unpleasant, with or without your knowing, you've actually asked for the opposite. Okay? So if you're experiencing poor health, you automatically have a deep desire for amazing health. If you have a difficult time with money, you naturally, by default, want easy money, financial stability and security, overflow, abundance, more than enough, right? If you've experienced not exciting things in love, you want that amazing relationship, right? Or whatever you want in love. So you've by default asked. Your only job ever is to believe that it's yours and that it will be done. Okay? So you don't always have to land in the end state of knowing for sure that it's done. You don't have to be like, ooh, this is who I am now. Like, you can and like do that when it works. But if you're really having a hard time because you're looking around and you're like, all the evidence, well, I've never experienced this. If you would just land in, I know for sure that I'm meant to have this, and I know this is going to unfold for me in the perfect way. If you could just do that, you would release so much resistance and you would allow your desires to come in for you, and things would shift really magically in your reality. Matthew says, totally, we're breaking old cycles and the outdated paradigm. A new earth is arising. It is. It is. We're all waking up, and it's beautiful. And that's why there's so many of us doing this work, you know? Yes, Jesus said that. Ask and it will be given to you. Yeah, really. Like, and I love pointing it out that it's in the Bible, because I'm someone who was brought up really religious, like not in a good way. Like, I was brought up a lot of shaming, a lot of criticism, a lot of like, oh, you don't deserve that. Like, woe is me. You know what I mean? And so when I started really studying this stuff and really understanding, like, wow, the Bible is a blueprint for manifestation. And I started understanding it, like kind of seeing it through the eyes of love and in an empowered way. I was like, oh my gosh, we've just been taught it all wrong. And so it's interesting because a lot of the people who come to me and like hear my content and, you know, find me, have had that wounding around religion, around thinking it's wrong to ask for more, thinking that we're not worthy, thinking that God is outside of us, something like that. And it's really incredible how when you start to just be willing to see things differently, everything starts to shift for you. Seek only the kingdom of heaven, and everything else you thought you needed will be given to you. Exactly. Yeah, what's that passage that says, seek first the kingdom of heaven and all these things shall be added unto you? What's the kingdom of heaven? Peace. We were talking about this earlier. If you had everything you wanted already, or if you knew for sure that it was all going to work out for you, you'd be relaxed. You'd be at peace. You'd be present. And so that's why working with your nervous system, I say so much, just go play and have fun. Like whatever you're worried about is getting taken care of. You can just essentially decide to hand it over to your inner being, to your soul, to the universe. You know what? I don't have to figure this out. I'm letting my inner being handle this for me. I'm going to go play and have fun so I can let it in. If you would just focus on doing what's right in front of you, doing the best with where you're at, having fun, feeling good, being present, instead of replaying shitty situations from the past and then projecting them onto your future with a lot of fear, worry, and doubt. If you would just be present and go so simple, like it's all working out for me. I'm supposed to live an amazing life. I get to have everything I want. It's already mine. The desires in my heart are promises. This is who I'm supposed to be. This is what I'm supposed to experience in this lifetime. I'm naturally magnetic to what I want. I don't have to force. If you would just go general like that, you would have the most magical shift in your mindset and in what shows up for you in the physical reality. It's made to sound like once it's deregulated, it takes a lot of work to get it regulated, but it's when you slow down and breathe. No. Oh, I'm seeing your first comment, Ashley. Hang on. People got me so confused with how they talked about nervous system regulation. Nervous system regulation? Okay, so I know there's people who coach specifically on this, and if that's something you want to dive into and that resonates with you, have at it. But I'm going to tell you from my own experience, it is as simple, like you said, as just slowing down and breathing. So anytime you're dysregulated is because you're in fear. You think that you're not good enough. You think that something's gone wrong. You think that you're not going to get what you want. You think you're fucking it up. You think that you have to do more. You're looking at how it's not here yet, right? So all you have to do, or you're projecting an old story onto something new. You're looking at something that's happening, something that's neutral, and you're assigning a negative meaning to it based off of your past fears and experiences. All you have to do is notice, oh, that's my old story. Because my old story feels like shit. My new story is the one that feels good, because my new story is when I'm who's lucky. Everything works out for me. I have everything I want. Everything I want flows to me with ease. Everything's working out for me all the time, no matter what it appears to be on the outside. So you just calm yourself. And one of the easiest ways to do that is just take a deep breath in. Remind yourself that's just old programming. And you don't have to figure it out. And you're safe. And everything's unfolding. I've been having in my life such huge turnarounds, and with my clients, such huge turnarounds with using these just general blanket statements, blanket affirmations, just very general. And then, when it feels good, you can affirm specifically for what you want, but you don't have to. If you would just stay calm and remind yourself that everything's working out for you and that you're lucky, it would. That's how crazy simple this is. But most people refuse to believe that it's that simple. People don't have ears to hear the good news, they want to complicate it. But I want to remind you that no matter where you are on your journey, you're perfect. A lot of these things, if I'm honest, have taken me years to integrate and really understand. I've known about manifesting and studied it for years, and it took me a while to even come into the law of assumption. And it took me a while after that to learn how to do it from a calm space instead of a needy, desperate space of trying to control. And it's just the more you practice solidifying your self-concept of understanding that you are powerful, you can have what you want, that your thoughts do create, that the more you relax, the more you receive, that you don't have to figure it out, the more calm you'll be, because you'll just be more certain. You'll see something or think of something that you want and just know, yeah, that's mine. I get to have it. I choose that. And it's not this thing of oh my God, how do I get it? Do I need to listen to subliminals all day to get it? You know what I mean? Matthew. Yes, I am familiar with Abraham Hicks. I love Abraham Hicks. Guys, give me 1 second. I'm going to respond to a text message. By the way, I know there's only like 10, well, there's probably more than 10 people watching because I know people don't like click actually in the live, but there's only 10 people in the live. But if anyone would like a reading, they're $30, okay? You just click the link in my bio, and there will be an option for Venmo or PayPal, or you can, the Venmo's in my title here if you want to send me that. Hang on 1 second. I'm going to respond to some text. One second, guys. Okay. All done. I'm going back and looking. Live smarter, not harder. It is the good news. Yes, it is. The good news is that you never left heaven. You just dreamed that you did. I was just talking about this with my girlfriend the other day. You know, like how in the Bible, everything's kind of like a metaphor. You know, like Christians sometimes tend to take it like super literally, but they don't understand any of it and they don't get what they want. But like, you know, when they take a bite from the apple from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil, that literally was like the decision to come into the third dimension and have this reality of right, wrong, good, bad, you know, like polarity. Okay. So it's just a dream. And the way you wake up from that dream is by understanding that none of what's going on around you means anything. It's not good or bad. It's all just God. It's all just energy. It's all just matter. It's all just consciousness. Yeah? And you're the dream and the dreamer. And wherever you choose to put your focus is what you will experience more of next. So if you can just shift your focus away from your problems for long enough, they'll clear up on their own. And this is why I say go play and have fun. Don't worry about your problems. Just know that they're being solved, because that's exactly what will happen. You'll wake up from the dream and you'll realize that the problems weren't even real. They feel really real. You have a very real experience of them in a 3D, but that's only because you're focusing on that. So it's like really needing to learn how to discipline your mind and where you put your focus. And that's why I teach a lot about mindset. I teach a lot about mastering your emotions, emotional intelligence, emotional stability, regulating your nervous system. Because it's essentially like learning a new way of being. Like in this nightmare, you've learned that you need to work hard, you need to suffer. Good things don't come easy. You can only receive a little bit of good. Oh, it's bad if you receive good because it means it's taken from someone else. It's like all this scarcity programming. And it's like where we're collectively going in consciousness is moving out of that bullshit, right? Out of that old timeline, out of that old paradigm and into abundance, overflow, more than enough. There's more than enough for everyone because you're just going to experience what you believe. So if everyone would work on an abundance mindset, everyone would always have more than enough, because the money, the love, the everything you want is not outside of you. It comes from within you. It's the image you hold that's projected onto the screen of space. Okay. So it's understanding that things outside of you are not at cause. You are the cause. And I explain this in my self-concept guide, which again, guys, if you haven't gotten that and you want to get it, I forget what it's priced at right now. It's around like $45. It's under $50. If you go to the link in my bio, click on work with me, and then go under self-paced programs, it's there. I explain in there the mirror principle. So I'll just explain it briefly here so you guys can understand this if you haven't heard me speak on this. And if you've heard me speak on it, maybe it will like click different for you this time. But it's like if you are holding a mirror, the mirror is going to show you whatever you're doing. So if you are frowning, it is so foolish to punch the mirror because you're mad that the mirror is showing you a frown. You think the mirror is frowning, but really who's frowning is you. The mirror is just reflecting to you what you're doing. You wouldn't know what it looks like unless you had that mirror to reflect it back to you, right? So when we come here to this third dimension to experience duality, The world outside of us that we think is so real is just that mirror. It's just reflecting back to us what we're doing unconsciously or consciously. Okay? So when your 3D isn't looking the way you want it to look, you don't fight with your 3D. You go within and shift your state. You shift who you're being. And you do this by shifting your thoughts, shifting your thinking, shifting your feeling, shifting the way you see yourself, what you believe is possible. So back to this card, we got all of this from one card, guys. Thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear, right? What are the beliefs that are keeping you small? What are the fears that are running your life? Oftentimes it's going to look like a fear of not enough, fear that there's not enough, fear that there's not room for you, fear that you're not good enough, something like that, or that it's not possible, or it's going to be really hard or take a really long time, right? Letting those fears go, seeing beyond those limits. We talked about when you're in fear, your energy is really tight and contracted. As you relax that, as you say, I'm willing to see things differently, more than enough is available. I'm worthy of what I want. Everything's working out for me. It's safe for me to release these limits. It's safe for me to expand into more. You soften and you open up your energy, and your problems resolve themselves, and the things you've been wanting for so long start to drop into your reality really freaking fast. Sometimes as if by magic. But again, manifestation is not logical, because we've been trained to think logical. We've been trained to think that time is linear. We've been trained to think that the 3D world, everyone and everything outside of us is so real. But that's not how it is. Okay? So it says, thank you, universe, for helping me see beyond the limits of fear. Thank you for expanding my perception so that I can see what is of the highest good. I want to give you guys a really amazing affirmation that's helped me a lot when I want to level up. And it's so simple. It is, universe, I am ready for my next level. Show me my part. I'm willing to see things differently, you know? It's just that I'm ready for my next level. Show me my part. That's my thing. And when I say show me my part, what I mean by that is I'm willing to see things differently. I'm willing to think differently. I'm willing to act and behave differently. I'm willing to feel differently. Yeah? I'm ready to believe differently. And all of those things will help you expand into more. Does that make sense, guys? Let me know how this is landing for you if you have any questions. Ashley, yeah, it takes persistence to work through the old patterns. It does. But the thing is, this is what I always tell people when they come to me and they're like, I've been doing it for so long. I'm like, when you're focusing on how long you've been doing this, you're still kind of focusing on it's not here yet, right? That's still kind of like a victim mindset. And the thing is, the time is going to pass either way, right? You, like, even if your manifestation wasn't going to show up for 2 years, time, it doesn't matter. Some things come quickly, and the more you release resistance, the more quickly they'll come in, trust me. But let's just say that there was a manifestation, a big one you wanted, and your soul told you, okay, you're going to for sure get this, but it's going to take 2 years. But it's going to come in 2 years only if you do the work to release your resistance, right? The 2 years is going to pass either way. You're going to get what you want either way. How do you want to experience that time? So a good question I like to ask myself often is, when I feel like I'm in the waiting period between like receiving one manifestation and wanting the next one, is how do I want to remember this phase of my life? How do I want to remember this journey? Do I want to look back on this period of my life and be like, I was stressed the fuck out. I was kind of a bitch to everyone. I was wallowing in self-pity. I was anxious. I was sitting inside all day because I was stressed. You know, like, is that how I want to remember it? Or do I want to remember, wow, this was a really beautiful, influential, pivotal point in my life. This is when I started loving myself. This is when I started trusting that it was being worked out for me. This is when I stopped feeling shitty and I started focusing on what went right. This is when, even though things weren't perfect, I chose to follow my joy and everything started opening up for me. Like, this is the point in my life where I became more loving and kind. This is the time in my life where I stepped into my purpose. Like, you know, how do you want to remember it, right? Because I think another one of the big illusions is that like your it's like when we put our manifestation on the pedestal, you're like, I'm not going to be happy until I get this thing. And it's like, well, you're going to get what you want. That's the first assumption you need to make. And I want you to look back at your life at when you've gotten something you wanted, where you've successfully achieved a goal. After that, it felt good for a little bit, right? But then you were on to the next goal, because that's normal. It's normal to keep expanding. And if you look at it that way, like Abraham Hicks says, you can't get it wrong and you'll never get it done. Like you're like, there's never really an end goal, because as soon as you hit one goal, there's another. And it doesn't mean to not have goals, but what it means is that so much of life is the journey. And it's really up to you, the kind of journey you're having. And if you're stressed out, if you're anxious, if you're fearful, if you're not trusting, you're not even open to all the good that's around you, right? So a good affirmation that you've probably heard me say a lot, if you've been following me for a while, Ashley, I know you know this one, is I am wide awake to my good. I am wide awake to my good. And start appreciating. You know, I've never been one for like the forced gratitude list. Like, you know how people talk about that? That doesn't really excite me. I'm not like, I'm grateful I have 2 eyes. Like, I'm grateful there's oxygen to breathe. Like, am I grateful for that? Sure. But like, I got bigger fish to fry. Like, you know, like I've got big things I'm manifesting. Like, those things are like, not that I take them for granted, but of course I have those things. Like, duh, like I'm here having a human experience. Like, thank you, moving on, you know? But what I like to do is I like to appreciate what I have now. And a lot of that has to do with being present. So like if you're having a cup of coffee in the morning, enjoy the shit out of that cup of coffee. Be there. Instead of thinking about all your problems. You know, instead of doing 10 things at once, can you slow down? Can you be more present? Can you appreciate the people in your life more? Can you be more kind and loving to yourself? Can you do little things that bring you joy, right? Like prioritizing those little moments. How can you bring more beauty into your life, more love, more appreciation? For me, and this is just what I like, but you know, it's like being outside, going for a walk, not being glued to my phone all day. When I have sessions with clients, like being all there, loving it, you know, like when I'm creating content, like going all in on that, making a meal, being present, like being with my dog, being with my partner, you know, like it's the little things. So often we get focused on these big things we want because we think it's going to make us happy. But, you know, we see wealthy people all around the world who have everything and they're miserable. Well, why is that? Because it's not the stuff, right? And I'm not telling you can't get your stuff. You're going to get your things. You will get your things. Like, let's all come into agreement with that right now. You're going to manifest everything you want. Because that's just what you get to do. That's what you get to have. But it's like, who do you want to be? What kind of life experience do you want? And so it kind of goes back to what Matthew was bringing up, right? Like, seek first the kingdom of heaven and all of these things shall be added unto you. We think with our human mind that if I don't fixate on this one thing that's missing, it's not going to show up. But that's what keeps you stuck in the vibe of, I don't have it. Because you're like acknowledging the absence of it. You want to be so busy living your best life that you don't have time to notice what hasn't shown up yet. Okay. So I've explained this to some clients before. Like, you want to think like you have a bunch of pots on the stove and you don't know which one's going to boil first. You just got them all there and you're just living your life and you're just going to be pleasantly surprised when one's ready. Like, you don't know which manifestations are going to come in first. And I know a lot of people like to get super controlling once they find law of assumption. But I feel like that's kind of like a trauma response because you still don't actually believe you're going to get what you want. Like, the more I've understood this, the more I work on my trust and my faith, the more I find that like I don't have a desire to control things. Like, if I want something specific, how I like to manifest that is I affirm this or better. I'm only available for this or better. And I'm open to changing my mind, right? Like, let's say, for example, you think you need a certain type of partner. You know, you can, I've explained this before, you know, you can focus more general on like, how do you want to feel in that relationship? Or if you like certain physical attributes or certain qualities in someone, why? How does that make you feel? right? Like, and if you really think like, I need them to be this certain way or have this certain job or these certain attributes, can you affirm this or better? Can you be open to that? Like, maybe in this moment, what you think you want is based off your limiting beliefs because of what you've experienced in the past. Can you be open to the idea that more is available to you? Can you be open to the idea that like something else could actually make you happier? But oftentimes we're not open to this because we are super controlling, but controlling is always coming from a space of fear. So when you're really in your power, it's not a controlling thing. It's like, wow, yeah, I get to choose what I want. But it's kind of like you put your order in and then you're not like, it's like if you order something on Amazon, right? And you're not like, you just order it, you kind of set it and forget it. And now, granted, on Amazon, when you order, you know exactly what you're getting, which you can do that with manifestation. But what I mean is not needing to control it is like, you know, once you put an order in on Amazon, you're hopefully not frantically tracking the tracking number, right? You're not checking that nonstop. I hope you're just living your life like, oh yeah, I'll know when the package is here because I'm going to open my door and it's going to be there, right? Like you don't have to go looking for it, you know? Funny quick manifestation story as it pertains to that, by the way. I remember like several years ago, I used to always have issues with my packages, and I've used to have mega trust issues. So like very controlling type A, always convinced that something bad was going to happen. Like literally my family is so negative. Like my dad used to always say, oh, Newton's law, if anything can go wrong, it will go wrong. Like that was what I was programmed with. So you see what I was working with, right? So like a couple years ago when I was living in Florida, before I moved back to California, I lived in like a gated community, but there were like four different it was like four different buildings side by side and they each were gated, and my packages kept going to like the wrong ones. I could never get my packages. And I remember one day just being like, Hannah, this is bullshit. Let's set a new energetic standard. So, and I had a lot of stories going on because I had stories that like, oh, sometimes USPS delivers, FedEx usually does, UPS always gets the wrong one. Like I had different ones for different carriers. And you know, when you order on Amazon, sometimes it's different carriers. So I literally was just like, you know what? All of my packages come to my door, directly to my door on time. I always receive my packages. My packages come to me. I don't have to do anything. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to frantically check the tracking. I don't have to call. I don't have to go look for it. Like they're going to come to me. And, you know, I had a few little mishaps like on the way because I didn't fully believe it. But like anytime I found myself going back to my old ways because of like, I had a lot of evidence to back that up because I had really bad experiences with it. Like they would, even if the USPS put it in like the locker, like the parcel lockers, like the key would be in the wrong mailbox. So I wouldn't get it for weeks. Like that's how powerful of a creator you are, right? Like I was manifesting this. And I will tell you what, I have never since then in the last couple of years had not gotten a package. Like never. It doesn't matter what carrier it is, it comes straight to my door. And in my last building that I was living in, you know, the residents were having such a hard time because they're like, Amazon's lazy, Amazon won't bring the packages. I was like, I'm on the top floor and they deliver them right to my door. But like I would go down into the communal room and there would be like packages everywhere. Not mine. And then when I moved in with my girlfriend, she was having issues saying her packages weren't getting delivered. And I was like, well, I'm living here now, so you're going to get your packages. And all our packages come to the door. So, you know, just a cool story. Like it can seem little and trivial, but you know, you can manifest the little things, you can manifest the big things. And nothing's too small, nothing's unimportant. You know, I order from Amazon on a weekly basis. That's kind of like a big part of my life, you know? Hang on. I am looking. Ooh, okay. Hi, Jackie. I see a question here. Ashley, did you pin that, by the way? Oh, yeah. You're pushing buttons trying to see how to pin the comments. Awesome. Thank you for pinning that. Jackie, I hope you're still here. Okay. What's the difference of being controlling or just specific detailed? Okay. So I guess we kind of talked about that a little, but I go into this in my program Manifestation Mastery, but I'm just going to give you like the short overview. You want to be specific when it feels good, okay? So let's say you're doing an affirmation rampage or you're scripting or you're visualizing. You can get really specific, right? Like, Who's around you? What's your environment? What do you want? Get really specific. The moment your brain starts to look at, oh my God, this seems impossible, look at where I am, or things look like they're going wrong, or you feel like you're freaking out how to make it happen, that's when you want to lean back and go more general, okay? Know that when you're specific, that's great, okay? You're doing good work, getting clear. And then all you got to do is know that it's yours. So when you start freaking out, be like, I don't have to figure this out. I don't have to control it. I'm leaning back and letting this be taken care of for me. I know that this is all being worked out for me and going to show up even better than I ever imagined. You can affirm things like, I'm only available for what I want or better. Okay? And then you'll find, so I'm someone who likes to do both. I like to be specific and then go general. I know people who only do specific, and I know people who only do general, and they all manifest what they want. I like to do both. I find that when I feel stressed, I go general. I work on my self-concept of I'm lucky, everything's working out for me. I work on my faith. I just go work out or go for a walk or just take care of myself. And then I naturally will be back in the vibe of believing again. And then when I'm in that vibe of really believing of oh my God, yes, this is fun, this is exciting, I let myself go for it. I let myself get as wild and crazy with my affirmations and my scripting and my visualizations as I want. I love to dream big. But then when I feel it's stressful, I scale it back. So you want to just make sure that you're always feeling good. And for anyone tuning in, you may find that being specific always feels good for you. And you also may find that not being general is what feels better. Okay? So just do it however it works for you. You may go through phases of your life where everything's really good and you just want to go general and be like, universe, I'm ready for my next level. Just go general like that. Or you may be it's a time period where you're okay, I really want to make shifts in every area of my life. Let me get detailed. Let me script. Let me plan this out. But then at some point you do have to trust, right? You can't keep gripping tightly. You have to let go and let it come in. Does that answer your question, Jackie? Okay, another one. Ashley, you're amazing. Thank you for pinning these. World's best moderator. I'm so glad we did this. Okay, Donnie, I know this sounds negative, but I've been so long trying to practice manifestation for so long. Hang on, I'm trying to read the rest of your... for so long with no results. That's okay. I've been there. I think we've all been there. Okay. What you want to understand is that, and I say this with love, every time you're looking at, I don't have results, that's what you're going to experience more of. You're embodying, I don't have results. Okay. So my advice for you is you're overdoing it. Okay. If you're not getting results, you're not allowing yourself to be an energetic match. And I know that can be really confusing, but really what I want you to think of is you want to feel good. So again, do the techniques when it feels good. When the techniques aren't feeling good, lean back. Work on your faith. Work on trusting. Be present. Master where you're at. I talk about this in a lot of my programs because a lot of people just are want to jump ahead, that they're neglecting where they are. And the funniest thing is that when you take care of where you're at, the rest takes care of itself. Again, not to be Bible thumper, but there is a passage in the Bible, and I'm going to butcher it, but it talks about don't worry about tomorrow. Just take care of today, and tomorrow will take care of itself. And the reason why is because we're creating in the present moment. So whatever we're focused on in the present moment is what we're going to experience more of. So it can be as simple as if you just enjoy the one thing that's going right, everything else will start going right. Because you're embodying a state of, ooh, this feels good, this feels right. And then everything in your life is going to have to match that. Conversely, you could have 9 things going right and 1 thing going wrong. And if you focused on the 1 thing going wrong, all other 9 things would start going wrong too. Abraham Hicks talks about this. Okay? So I hope that answers your question. If you're feeling like that, it's just you've got a lot of resistance. So, this could be stuff you could work through, if you wanted to work with someone or just kind of on your own, if you wanted to kind of look into it, what are some of the beliefs you're holding subconsciously that go against what you want? That could be some of the work to do. You could also just work on relaxing more, work on building your faith, things like that. Okay, I'm super behind on comments because I've been riffing, but, it's always good when I'm riffing. So let's see. I gotta scroll way back up. Give me a minute, guys. Link is saying Amazon loses your packages. Not anymore. I stand in agreement with you that you get your packages now, some way, somehow. I don't care if you need a code to access your building. Your Amazon packages will come to your door, and I'm living proof that that can happen. Here's Jackie says she's such a homebody. I'm a homebody. Wait, sorry guys, I'm like way behind. Do I go live frequently? I go at least once a week. That's like a commitment I've made. Although I will say when I'm going to be on vacation in June that I won't go that week. Well, maybe I will if I'm going to actually only be gone 6 days. So maybe I will. Oh, I'm missing so many comments. Give me a minute, guys. I'm going to look at this. Okay. Oh, Matt, thank you for helping Ashley with this. Thank you. You guys are awesome. I love you guys. Floyd says original sin. Yeah, so we were talking about like the eating from the tree of the knowledge of good and evil. It was like choosing to see the world through duality, right and wrong, right? Sin, the ancient Greek word for sin is eros, meaning to err, to miss the mark. So that's like why we talk about misalignment. Alignment is remembering who you are. Understanding that who you are is God. Who you are is everything. Who you are is naturally magnetic to what you want. You don't have to go and get it. Yeah? Matthew says exactly. It's all done. Everything possible happens right now and is available right now. Amen. Ashley, it's so key. I didn't find a coach, you talking about emotional regulation for months. Yeah, it really is a big part of it. And you'll be able to tell like when these beliefs really sink in, when your subconscious really is reprogrammed, when you really start accepting the new story is more true than your old story, you're going to feel a sense of peace. So I've had a lot of clients tell me like they get to a point where they stop wanting to affirm. And that happens to me. But I will tell you, I love affirming. I like scripting. I love affirming, but I don't do it from a needy place. It's like more like I get to a place where I'm like, okay, I'm convinced enough because I've affirmed enough. I'm convinced that it's mine. And then I just lean back and let it unfold. And then when I become aware of something new I want, I decide that I want it. And oftentimes just that decision is enough. I'm like, oh yeah, done. It's mine. But then sometimes I will find like that I know I can have it, but I feel a lot of resistance. And if I feel resistance, that's when I'll go in with my tools and techniques, like and reprogram, just to like keep telling, because I know if I tell the new story on repeat enough, it's going to feel normal and natural to me, you know? And I just work through any BS beliefs that come up that say I can't have what I want, because I know that if anything tells me I can't have what I want, it's a lie, and I'm not here for it, you know? Ashley, affirming for anxiety is counterproductive. Mind fights back. Exactly. Yeah. So I had someone on a couple live streams ago ask like, my affirming is creating a lot of resistance. So when you find that, you want to soften, and you can do that by using these blanket statements. Or if you, like I said, like everything's working out for me. I don't have to control this. I don't have to figure it out. It's all unfolding. I'm here to live an incredible life. I'm naturally abundant. I'm naturally magnetic to what I want, like these general things. But if even that feels like too much, just go play and have fun. And anytime you think about your problem, just affirm that it's getting taken care of. It sounds so delusional and happy-go-lucky, but like just try it for 30 days and come back and tell me how your life changes for the better. Matthew says, check her link in bio. Yes, guys, the link in my bio has everything. So I know there's new people who've hopped on. If you guys, so I'm not like super hardcore promoting it, but I do have cards here. If anyone, and I might pull another one before we close out, but if anyone wants me to read for them on this live stream, it's just $30. Okay, you can send it to either my PayPal or Venmo. You can go to the link in my bio and then click on TikTok live readings. It'll tell you everything you need to know. And then you let me know what kind of reading you want. Okay. If you're a first timer, please read through the like disclaimers so you can see if I'm a good reader for you. Okay. Also the replays of this live and other lives will be on my YouTube, which you can also find at the link in my bio, as well as all the ways to work with me. I have a bunch of self-paced programs. I have subliminals, affirmation tracks, reprogramming tools, self-paced programs, one-on-one coaching. Like I have a ton of ways to help you guys. Okay. And if you're not following, go ahead and give me a follow if you like this kind of content, because I go live at least once a week. And then the replays are always on my YouTube for those, because I know I go live at random times. That's just how it is, guys. But yeah, thanks for everyone for being here. Welcome. I love you guys. Let me read through some more of these comments. Okay, Hero says, everything's finally changed on the inside. Nothing's pushed out in 3D yet. Strange. Well, sometimes there's a lag time, okay? And just remind yourself that when you're noticing that it's not in the 3D, you're stepping out of your 4D, right? You're stepping out of your inner world. So focus so much on being happy, focus so much on feeling good, focus so much on being present and living your life to the best of your ability, following your excitement the most you can, that you don't have time to take note of the fact that it's not here yet, you know? I feel so happy and blessed and full of joy, and seemingly the 3D is the same. I don't care though. See, that's a good place to be. Neutrality, like not caring. Unbothered. Okay? Yeah, do I go live frequently? I answered this. Okay, I have a new comment. Is there a way to boil this all down to one simple practice? Because I'm all over the place. Just relax and trust. If you're feeling all over the place, affirm that. I would just give you a couple affirmations. I would be like, you know what? I am worthy of what I want. Am naturally magnetic to what I want. What I want is on the way. I don't have to control it. I get to just relax and let this be worked out for me. I'm going to get exactly what I want or better. I would go with general affirmations like that. I'm thinking, you know what, as I just said that, I'm thinking that it would be really good. Like, so my next subliminal and affirmation track bundle, I just did one for like wealth mindset. It's only $5.99 for like 3 different tracks that you get to download and keep. I'm thinking to do another bundle, and I think I might just do it for like general affirmations, because this is like a lot of what I've been teaching on, and people have been getting great results with this. And that's like, for whatever reason, the thing like people struggle with the most, and I struggled myself with that the most, right? Let me know if you guys would be into that. Also, like, I have some free tracks and subliminals and stuff on my YouTube too, so check that out too. No, I've had an all-time low with depression, and I don't know what to do with my brain right now. Thanks for this, though. You're welcome. You're going to get there. Don't give up, okay? I know it's can be hard. Just whenever it's feeling super hard, just know that you're overthinking it, right? It's just going to get better from here on out, okay? Just relax and trust. And do whatever you need to do to help build your trust. If that means working with a coach, if that means getting a reading from someone, if that means showing up for yourself and creating a routine, if that means, you know, whatever it means for you, like, you know, affirming, telling new stories, like whatever you need to do to work on the trust, do that. And don't forget to love yourselves, guys. I know it's so cheesy. I know we all like don't want to do self-love, but I'm telling you, like, all of these things that I teach are forms of self-love. It really comes down to like really believing that you get to have what you want, that you're good enough, that the past doesn't matter, that current circumstances don't matter. Things can shift quickly, but if you can be in a space where you don't need it to happen right this instant, you're kind of more aligned to letting it happen now. You know what I mean? Ashley is telling Noah, be gentle with yourself. Remind yourself it's a state. It's not who you are. Yeah, exactly, Ashley. Like, you know, it's okay to have feelings. You're not your feelings. It's okay. You're experiencing feelings. That's okay. And like, when I've been in times where I've been really low, I'm just like, you know what? This will pass. I know this will pass. Jackie, how to manifest a fun summer and travel. I don't know where or with who. I love it. Just affirm, like, I'm going on an incredible vacation really soon. Something like that. That's the one that came to me for you. I'm going on an incredible vacation really soon. I've like been manifesting so many things lately. It's insane. I'm going to have to like do some videos talking about it. Like, I manifested a partner in really quickly. Like, I'm manifesting travel. I'm manifesting a lot of changes. Like, it's crazy. Like, I've manifested some physical changes, and I've been doing the least I've ever done. And it's like, it's crazy, you know? Oh, good question. What's the difference between California and Florida? Well, the main thing I would say is the beaches. So I used to live in California and then I was in Florida and then I moved back to California and I'm literally considering moving back to Florida because it's just like the water here is so cold. So in Florida, the water's really warm. The beaches I think are nicer. Like the sand's more white and soft. Culture wise, I'm not going to lie, I prefer California, but you know, and at least like California is not as humid as Florida, but at the same time, California gets really cold. Like it's still cold here right now. And there's a lot of, especially if you're near the beach, there's a lot of like overcast days. Florida, you know, you get the rain, but it's been raining a ton in California this last year too. So I don't know. There's pros and cons to all of it, but I'm seriously considering going back to Florida because I miss it. Ashley says she scripts and meditates. Yeah. So guys, yeah, talking about meditating, I'm just going to share with you guys how I like to meditate. I can sit up straight and close my eyes and kind of get to this neutral space. I can. Do I typically feel motivated to do that? No, I don't. Okay. I'm going to tell you how I meditate. So I love tracks, whether it's a subliminal or an affirmation or just binaural beats or something, okay? And oftentimes I'll make subliminal or affirmation tracks to binaural beats or like theta waves, things like that. So if you buy any of my programs, you know, I include those in there for you guys. I have some on my YouTube channels too. So what I will typically do is whatever I'm working on, I will make a track or I'll find one from another creator. Sometimes I find good ones. You know, it's amazing how when you decide you want to manifest something, then it's like all of a sudden it just pops up on your YouTube or your TikTok, right? Like it's crazy how it works like that. I like to lay down flat on the bed without even a pillow. And I put a blanket over myself because I get cold typically. And I just lay down with my arms by my side and I just put an eye mask on usually and headphones and listen to whatever I'm going to listen to. And I just let my body fully relax. I like intentionally relax all my muscles. It kind of feels like all the tension's just draining out of my body. And I will do this typically from anywhere from like 20 minutes. I've even done it sometimes to like an hour if my body really needs it. And it's just like I totally get into like this deep sleep, you know. And if you're familiar with how reprogramming works, if you are listening to, just being in a deep sleep will release so much resistance, right? But especially if you're going in with subliminals or affirmation tracks, your subconscious mind's wide open to the reprogramming and it's taking in all of that new information. I will wake up from this feeling like $1,000,000, like I had a 90-minute massage or something, you know? If I had any tension in my body, it's gone. And so like, for example, and guys, I'm not perfect at this. Like I'm balancing being human too. Like last week I was super busy, it was kind of like by choice because I just had a lot of energy to do stuff like around the house and just things I needed to get done. And I did not take time to do my meditations. I think I did like 2 all week. And I felt tension in my shoulders and I felt a little bit like I don't feel as well rested. I'm not sleeping as well. And I was talking to my girlfriend about this. She's like, you need to do your daily meditations. Like no one's stopping you. I'm like, I know. And, you know, so like this week, that's something I'm committing to. Like, so it's just little things like that you can do. And so like if meditating is hard for you, just find what works for you. You know, there were phases in my life where going on actually when I lived in Florida, like going on really long walks with my headphones in, listening to these tracks was my meditation. Now I'm just like, because I've been working so much with just surrender, like just laying there, like doing nothing, reminding myself that I get to just lean back and receive. That's been like super powerful for me. So just a side note, like there's no right or wrong way to do it. Ashley, you're being such a good helper in here. Thank you for being so uplifting and sharing with everyone. Guys, yeah, Ashley knows what she's talking about. Ashley's been getting amazing results, and I'm so proud of you. I love you guys so much. Thank you for being here. And Julia says, I used to manifest. Now I'm a Jesus freak. Hey, whatever does it for you. Jesus is love, right? You are love. All connected. You live in LA. Oh, Jackie, then you know about the crazy weather then. I think LA is typically I'm in San Diego. LA is usually quite a bit hotter. in San Diego, but like it's been weird weather everywhere. Julia, why didn't your rocks and affirmations heal your depression? Are you talking about crystals? So I like crystals because I think they're pretty, but I've never been one to believe that there's any power outside of me. I'm like too practical. Like I was just telling someone the other day, I was the kid who had Barbies and would not play with them. I literally would just dress them and do their hair because I was like, how can I, like, I'm not going to pretend like I'm too practical. So for me, I could never get on that train of like, oh, just buy this crystal and you're going to manifest what you want. It's your belief. Like Jesus teaches manifesting in the Bible. If you're someone who likes Jesus, like he teaches you everything you need to know about manifestation. Is literally just your belief. Okay? So this is not to knock crystals. If that is your path of least resistance, if that's what you can get your belief and faith behind, do it. Please do whatever you can get your belief behind. Okay? And this is why I tell people there's no right or wrong way to do this. Just do what feels good for you. Do what seems like the next logical step to you. Do what feels like relief. Do what feels good to you. So if like taking certain vitamins feels good, please do that. If seeing a practitioner feels good, do that. If taking certain actions feels good, do that. If not taking action feels good, do that. It's whatever you can get your energy behind. And you can do both. You can work on expanding what you believe is possible, like kind of changing what you're energetically available for, like your standards, and also taking actions that you believe, right? So if you manifest the past to alter, it will work. Yeah, it can, but you want to understand that like every single time, if you understand manifesting from quantum physics point of view, every single timeline already exists right now. You're like, it's all done, it's all created, it's all finished, the story's finished, it's already been written. Whatever timeline you choose to focus on right now is what you're going to experience. So if instead of focusing on trying to change something from the past, when you're doing that, you're focused on the past, you're not focused on the now. So let's say you experienced a lot of abuse in your past. Instead of going and trying to rewrite your past, oh, I was never abused, I was always loved and treated well, that's going to feel like a whole lot of resistance, and you're not present in the now. You could just focus on, I'm always loved and treated with respect, I have an amazing life. Just do that now and you're going to naturally align with your highest timeline. There's infinite timelines available. Does that make sense? Let me know. Like people way overcomplicate it. Like just be present. Know you can have what you want. Release resistance. Feel good now. What do I think about Dr. Joe Dispenza? I like Dr. Joe Dispenza. Some of his stuff feels a little complicated for me. Like I'm not trying to work that hard or think that hard about it. I think sometimes people go in circles following some of this work, but I've heard people say that about Abraham Hicks too, but I really like Abraham Hicks, but it did take me a couple years to like fully understand that. Hello, Lorena. I don't know who Andrew Tate is, but that would be a self-concept thing. Okay. Okay. Some of these comments are a little intense. Guys, basically, you're going to experience whatever you're focusing on. That's just facts. If you don't like what you see around you, change where your focus is. Become the change you want to see. We talked about the mirror principle earlier. The 3D world is not real. It is simply reflecting back to you where your consciousness is at. Okay? You're God. You're infinite. You can focus on anything you want. You can dream up the most horrific dream, or you can dream up the most beautiful dream. It's up to you. It's up to you. I'm moving this real quick because I need to plug in my phone. It's about to die. That's why I say so often to just relax. If you're obsessed with trying to control things, trying to change things, you're not relaxed. When you really know your power, you understand that you don't need to try so hard. You don't need to try at all. You just choose what you want. You know you're going to get it. And like we were talking about earlier, we're talking about, how to not be controlling. like when to be specific, when not to be specific. You know, if there's something specific that you want, that you identify in this moment you want, I really recommend to say, okay, I get to have this or better. And be open to changing your mind. Don't be so rigid. You know, be more fluid. Be more relaxed. Bora, how to manifest him to be back at my life. I had tried the affirmations. Wait, I lost it. Okay, people are commenting really fast and I lost it. But if I'm assuming you're talking about manifesting a specific person back, you got to work on your self-concept, okay? I really recommend, no matter what you're trying to manifest, but specifically with specific person, because people, when they're trying to manifest a specific relationship, they have so much resistance going on, okay? And typically what's going on is you're putting your SP on a pedestal. Your job is to put yourself on the pedestal. Because so long as you have SP on a pedestal, you're like by default putting yourself beneath them. And this isn't a competition of like who's better. It's about healing the stuff within you that feels like you're not lovable. Okay? That feels like you won't get what you want. You manifested your specific person. Yes, you did. You know, yeah, someone's saying so much happier now that I kicked the pedestal out from under SP. It's way better. Yes, exactly. It is not about saying anything negative or demeaning someone else. It's just about you seeing your self-worth. Like you're worthy of the relationship you want, okay? So typically when people are trying to manifest an SP back, there's things going on. Like they have shitty stuff going on. Like, oh, there's a third party involved. There was cheating. They don't want me. Their family's in the way. Their work's in the way. It's a long distance relationship. They're not ready for commitment. They're not texting me. We're not in contact. Like all these shitty stories. You got to tell a new story, okay? So you can do one of two things, or you can do a combination of these two things. You can start saying, they're always contacting me. I'm the only one. I am the best choice. I'm the only one for them. Of course they've come to their senses. Of course I'm chosen. I am loved, adored, committed to, prioritized. I am wife material. Like whatever you have to tell yourself. Like these are things I said to manifest the relationship I have now into my life. I didn't have a specific person in mind, but I knew exactly the kind of relationship I wanted. And I got that. Okay. And you can do this in a way, you know, I really recommend to not, if you have a past relationship that you're trying to manifest back, just affirm that you get to have that or better. Just decide the kind of love you get to have. And either that person will conform to meet your new standard, they're going to become the right person for you, or you're going to manifest someone in way better. Which I know when you're super attached to something, the ego doesn't like to think of that. The ego's like, no, it can only be this person. And to be honest, you can manifest either way. But you're never going to manifest a love you want if you keep them on the pedestal, right? You got to really decide how this relationship works for you. And I really, really recommend to just be open that it can either be that person or better, but either way, you're going to get the love you want. Either way, it has to do with your self-concept. Who are you in love? Are you worth it? Are you the prize? Is someone's life a million times better with you in it? Like, what do you believe about yourself? You know, anytime we have these painful experiences in love, it's because, you know, we've experienced like not being prioritized, you know, or being cheated on, or not being the only one, or being criticized, or not being shown up for. Like, so this is where you get to go in and love yourself and do the work. You're worthy of what you want. You're amazing. You're not in competition with anyone. You're in a league of your own. There's no one like you. Of course you're chosen. Of course you get to have the love you want, right? Does this make sense, guys? Is this landing? Bobby says, my man loves me. Well, I'm a lesbian and my woman loves me. She does. It makes sense. Cool. Yeah. And it's funny because like a lot of times people don't want to do that work, right? Like we want to focus on the other person. We want to focus on money. We want to focus on the ideal body. We want to focus on the other person. We want to focus on all these things, but really it's about us. Just choose to believe that you get to have what you want, you know? and work through any limiting beliefs you have that tell you you can't have what you want, or that you're wrong for wanting what you want, right? Because I think that's like all the stuff we've been programmed with, to think that we're wrong to want more, or you can't have it all, you know, and that's just lies. Like, you can have it all. You can have what you want. Hero says, now that I focus on myself, I'm so much happier. I want SP to be happy. All is well, full of love. See, isn't that like a beautiful energy to be in? It's like all these goals we chase as like, it's like the last thing we're willing to do is love ourselves. We'll chase goals forever and we'll do anything except for love ourselves. But the irony is, the moment you start loving yourself and focusing on yourself, all those things you were chasing start chasing you. Things just click into place without you even needing to really try. You know? Nicole says, how do I choose the money or business when I don't know where it starts? That's a good question. So are you meaning like you want to make more money, or you want to make money through a business? If you don't know where it starts, I would go general. I would kind of set an intention like, I'm ready to make money in a way that feels really good to me. I'm ready for financial freedom. I'm ready to use my gifts in a way that bring joy to others and create abundance for me and the world. You know, you could, or whatever your beliefs are, or whatever you want to be true for you as far as that goes. Does that make sense? And you can ask for clarity. You can ask for direction. So talk to your soul, talk to the universe, talk to God, your inner being, whatever, however you communicate, you know, the infinite intelligence within you. Just say, hey, like, I want a business. I'm open to new ways to make money. I'm ready for my next level of money. I'm ready for financial freedom. I'm ready for abundance. I'm ready to use my gifts, you know, whatever it is. And just say like, lead me, guide me, show me my part. Like, I'm willing to do my part. And then follow the nudges you get, even if they don't make sense. I know people who've manifested business opportunities just fell in their lap. Like someone, like I knew someone approached them and like gave them a business that was already like formed and running, and then they became a business owner like that. Okay. Then like me, for example, I knew for a long time that I wanted a business, but I didn't know what. And I tried a lot of things and wasn't really sticking with anything. And then like through just like my life experience, I realized, oh, this is what I'm good at. This is what I want to do. And of course, like, you know, it makes sense for me to share what I've learned. Like, this is what feels good and natural to me. And this is what I do, you know, maybe you feel the nudge to go study something, or, you know, maybe you get a nudge to go on a trip somewhere and then you meet someone, or you overhear, like, you never know how it's going to come in. So just stay open, just set the intention. Go general if you don't know specifics. General is actually a really powerful place to manifest from. Pinned comment, what's my favorite Taylor Swift song? I wouldn't be able to tell you because I'm not a Taylor Swift fan. I'm sorry, guys. Mallory, if you like Lindsay Lohan and you're digging my look, feel free. The Venmo's in my in the title of this. If you guys are enjoying the live, if you want to send me a tip, feel free. If you go on the link in my bio, there will be multiple ways you can do that. I have PayPal and Venmo listed. You guys can purchase a reading. If you guys want me to read for you on this live, I'd be happy to read for you. It's $30. You can send Venmo or PayPal and I'll read for you here. You just tell me what kind of reading you want. All the ways to connect with me are there. Okay, so if you would like to follow me on my YouTube, I post the replays of my lives. So, you know, I go live about usually once or twice a week. You can catch the replay of this live and my other lives there. You also can see my self-paced programs, my self-concept guide, working with me one-on-one, getting a personal reading, all of those things. So all of that is there. Guys, if anyone is Ashley still here? Is my moderator still here? Michael, I'm about to make you a moderator because I need help. Is Michael still here? Ashley's still here. Yay. Okay. Is Michael still here? Michael, should I make Michael a moderator if he's still here? He seemed cool. He seemed like he knew what's up. We're talking about manifestation, guys. So for anyone who's new, I'm a manifestation coach, okay? I focus mostly on mindset and energetics, okay? I also do readings, but I teach law of assumptions. So these readings are to help you shift the way you're seeing things and become aware of what blocks are in your way and how to overcome them. This isn't about like, is my boyfriend coming back? It's not that type of reading, okay? So that's just a little bit about me, what I do. If you guys have questions as it pertains to manifesting, law of assumption, any of that stuff, feel free to drop it in the comments below. I'm going to stay on a little bit longer, but not too much longer because it's actually kind of close to my bedtime. Ashley says she needs the shower. I feel you, girl. I'm about to like wash my face and do my skincare routine and like start unwinding, take care of my puppy and go to bed. This was fun though. So yeah, going live, you never know how it's going to go, but it's always a good time. I think we have a hookup brewing in the comments here. We'll just let that happen. Meditate, yes. Yes, you can Venmo for a reading. When I put the description of this, it hardly gives me any room at all. You can Venmo or PayPal for a reading. I would say I have time to take one reading if someone wants one. Otherwise, I'm going to hop off because I've been on here at least an hour or so. And believe it or not, this ring light gets hot. I never know why it's so hot. And then I was like, I heard someone was talking about the ring light being hot. I'm like, oh, it's the ring light. Makes sense. Does anyone have any questions before I hop off? Let me know. This is a good question. Hero says, what type of imaginal acts are the most powerful? I would say the ones that make you feel the best. Okay? So Neville Goddard talks a lot about living in the end. Sorry, I'm distracted. Let me put my phone away. Living in the state of the wish fulfilled. So we do techniques with manifesting, whether it's scripting, affirming, visualizing, to help us feel a different way, right? So when you're identifying as the person who doesn't have what you want, you're feeling a certain type of way, typically not good, right? We do these techniques not to try to force something to happen, but to embody a new state, okay? So any type of, when we're talking about imaginal acts, right? So if you are familiar with law of assumption manifesting, you guys will know what this is. I'll try to break it down for you guys. If anyone doesn't know, let me know in the comments. But when you're doing that, it's to evoke a certain type of feeling, okay? So whatever one makes you feel the best, okay? So I've done this for many different things in my life, okay? I did this when I manifested my last car, actually, and I only did it about twice. I was having issues with the current car I had, and I knew I needed to get a new car, and I identified what new car I wanted, and to me, it didn't seem like possible. There were certain reasons why, like I didn't think I would be able to afford it and different things. Well, I was like driving a kind of far distance and was having like issues with the car I was in, and I was just like imagined being in the car I wanted and like everything going smoothly and not being nervous or afraid because like the car was great. Like, so I did that, and then like literally within 2 months I got the new car. Like, and everything lined up. I went to the dealership, got it the exact one I wanted, actually better model than I wanted. It was still under warranty. The previous owner had prepaid all the service. Like, I had like 5 services prepaid on there. Like, it was like such a blessing. Like, it was, and that was a very seamless transition for me. And I didn't have to do it a lot. However, if there's an area in your life that you're really struggling with, visualizing or like imaginal acts repeatedly will form new neural pathways in your brain, okay? So like, let's say, for example, let's say you want to manifest like totally new life. Let's say you want to manifest love, you want to manifest a new home, you want to manifest like success in your business, you want to manifest like your dream body, right? Like, you could just go to the end. You want to imagine like a little clip, like a 30-second clip of you already being in that life. Like, you being I've done this many times, you being your best version, right? Like, imagine, like, for me, like, I love being at home. I love a kitchen. I love a nice big kitchen, right? So if I were doing this, I would like envision like I'm in the kitchen. I'm looking, it's like my dream home. I'm looking outside at the beautiful yard. I'm like, feel amazing in my body. My dog's happy. I smell coffee brewing because I love my morning coffee, and my lover's behind me, like holding me, being like, you're so beautiful, baby. I love you. I'm so happy you're here. Like, and I'm just like, and maybe my Stripe's pinging and I'm getting payments and new clients. And I'm like, oh my God, like, how is this my life? How am I here? How did I manifest everything I wanted? You know, like, and that's going to evoke a feeling. Like, you may feel really excited. You may feel like relief, like, oh my God, I don't have any more debt. Oh my God, everything's working. I got what I wanted, you know, whatever. Oh my God, I lost the weight finally. My skin cleared. I manifested the love, whatever. You may feel, you may cry, you know, whatever. So like, any type of imaginal act that really like it gets you emotionally hooked is good. The reason why, because think about it, you're either getting emotionally hooked into your reality with the things you don't like the fear. Oh my God, this thing just happened. I just got this bill in the mail. This person was mean to me. SP's ignoring me. These jeans don't fit. I got a pimple on my face, you know, whatever in your reality is emotionally hooking you. You're either emotionally feeding that, or you can emotionally feed the new reality. This is actually something someone asked me earlier on in the live what I think about Dr. Joe Dispenza. He talks a lot about how your brain does not know the difference between a real or an imagined act, okay? Now, this goes back to what we're talking about, how nothing's actually real in the 3D. It's all what we're projecting from within. But regardless of whether or not that lands or makes sense, I want you to know that whatever you choose to feed energy into in this now moment is what will become true for you. It may not happen right this instant. It may not happen tomorrow. But if you practice holding that energetic frequency more than enough, more and more often, it will become true for you. It will have no choice but to show up for you. Reality will shift in either logical, systematic, or big, crazy, miraculous ways. Like, it will happen. It has to do with the state you're embodying. So this was a great question. The most powerful imaginal act is the one that evokes the most emotion out of you. Okay? And I go into this deeply in my self-concept guide. So if you guys want help with, you know, how to affirm, how to do these techniques, check out my self-concept guide. I also go deeply into this if you want like a bigger program with like video modules and stuff in Manifestation Mastery. Both of these are, if you click the link in my bio, click work with me, and then click self-paced programs, and they'll be under there, okay? They're both like instant access. But what I explain in there is that, what was I saying about this? Oh my gosh, I lost my train of thought because I'm reading comments, which is great. Thanks for commenting. Just give me a second. I'm going to find it. Your brain doesn't know the difference between a real and imagined act, okay? So as we continue landing in these repeatedly, it's going to feel more real for us. We're going to energetically feed the reality we want, whether or not it's here, okay? And if you keep going there, it has no choice but to be reflected out. What's in your current reality right now is because that's what you've been feeling, probably unconsciously, right? Like, now you're finding this, you're learning that you get to intentionally create what you want. Does that make sense? I lost my train of thought about what I was talking about. If you guys remember what I was saying, I got on a tangent and then started reading comments. But I was talking about how I explain how to do this in my self-concept guide. What was I explaining how to do? Sorry, guys. I'll come back to it. I'll circle back to this. Let me read a comment here. Joe Dispenza says the feeling precedes the event, not the other way around. Exactly. 100%. And this goes back to the mirror principle, which again, I teach in my self-concept guide, and I explained it in this live, but I'll just say it again because there's new people hopping on all the time. And sometimes we've got to hear this over and over again. Life is the mirror. You are the main character. So if you look outside of you and you see something you don't like, you don't fight with your 3D reality. That would be equivalent to frowning and then noticing in the mirror that there's a frown and you don't like it, and then punching the mirror, trying to make it smile. The way you make the mirror show you a smile is you smile. You become the change, okay? So it has to do with detaching from what you see around you and going within and becoming the change, choosing who you're going to be, okay? And so whatever we're emotionally hooked into is what's going to be created, okay? So yeah, I go over this in Manifestation Mastery. I go over this in my self-concept guide of helping you really control your emotions. Really just like when you're not feeling good, breathe, relax, and then tell the story the way you want it to be. It's going to sound delusional at first because it's going to seem like the complete opposite. But this is how you manifest your way out of a situation you don't like. This is how you get to experience the complete opposite. You stop focusing on what's not working. You stop focusing on what you don't want. I totally have no idea what I was trying to say earlier about that, but it's all the same stuff we've been talking about, you know? I'm going to hop off soon. Does anyone have any comments, any questions, any comments? If anyone wants a reading, I'd be happy to do a reading before I hop off. But thank you to everyone who's been here, who's contributed, who's hung out with me. Thank you for the love. Thank you for the questions. You guys have been great. This has been really fun hanging out with you guys. If you're not giving me a follow yet, I invite you to do so. That way you'll get notified next time I go live. And you'll get notified when I put out content, because I put out content a couple times a week usually, and I go live at least once a week. For anyone who's new, who didn't catch this earlier, all the ways to connect with me, work with me, catch the replays of this live, all of that is linked in my bio at the top of my page. So check that out, okay? I put the replays on my YouTube, so you can watch those there. I offer one-on-one coaching sessions. I have email coaching, personal readings. I offer them live here for like much cheaper if you want them live, or you can have a private one where I record the reading and send it to you. I have self-paced programs. I have my self-concept guide. Like, I have a bunch of ways to help you. So if you want to get plugged into my world, would love to have you. And yeah, this was a good talk. This was a good live. I haven't been live on a Saturday in a really long time, so this was nice. Punching the mirror, that was a great way of putting it. Thank you. Bless you. You're so welcome. I'm happy that made sense. Yeah, it's like, it's a whole perspective shift we need to have, you know? And a good affirmation, like general affirmation, is like, just say, I'm willing to see things differently. Help me see this differently. Because really, manifestation is perception and energy management. It's self-regulating, like not getting emotionally hooked into things that we don't want to experience. And it's intentionally moving our energy, our emotions, our thoughts, our beliefs in the direction we want to go. And then being willing to see things differently, you know? Does that make sense, guys? And you'll find, like, I talk about the same concepts over and over again, because it's really like, it just takes time. Like, we've been talking a lot tonight about reprogramming your mind and how those neural pathways are formed with repetition. So it's like, oftentimes you just have to hear it over and over again for it to click a different way. And sometimes it's like you've heard it a million times, but then one time you hear it and it just lands a little bit different, you know? Like, I never stop learning. I read books, I listen to podcasts all the time, and a lot of the stuff I know it, but I'm not going to have a huge paradigm shift. I'm going for that one nugget of gold that's going to like just shift my perception just a little bit more, so I can embody just a little bit more, so I can receive in just a a little bit of a bigger way, so I can expand a little more. Does that make sense? So, you know, wherever you're at on your journey, I just want to encourage you, keep going and keep growing, keep working on yourself, keep coming back to this. It's going to keep getting better and better and easier and easier. It's going to make more and more sense. It's going to keep unfolding. Thank you for the rose, Amanda. It's going to keep unfolding. You'll keep being led to the next right step, to the next right realization, to the next right person who can help you, you know, the next right perspective shift, you know? Oh, thanks for the roses, guys. Thank you for being here. What's happening here tonight? Well, what's happening is we've been talking about manifestation. We've been talking about law of assumption. I haven't done any readings yet, but if anyone wanted a reading, I could do one. Sometimes we do a bunch of readings. Sometimes we do one. Sometimes we do none. It's just something I offer you guys while you're on here. I do intuitive readings, but they're never like, just to clarify, guys, these are not yes, no readings. These are not, is my lover coming back? This is like to offer you an upgrade in your perception so that you can like align with what you want. Yeah. They're not free questions. They're paid. They're paid readings. They're about 5 minutes. It's $30. You can send to my PayPal or Venmo. It's all linked in my bio. And then you tell me what you want me to read on here. So we can read on like love, relationships, money, finances, career, body, health, whatever you want to manifest, your guidance, what you need to know, all that. But I teach law of assumption. So these readings aren't to be disempowering. I'm never going to do a yes, no reading because I'm always going to stand in agreement with you that you get to have what you want. The answer is always yes. Whatever you believe to be true will become true for you. So my job, my role is to help you build your faith and belief that you get to have what you want, and to help you, you know, identify what you want, and then identify what limits have been holding you back. What small ways of viewing yourself have been keeping you from getting what you want, you know, so you can shift those and align with it. Sorry, my moderator's gone. I need to get a couple moderators on here. Ashley's I just figured out how to make moderators tonight, so moving forward, these lives will be more, I want to keep the energy clean. I want it to be like, I mean, there's trolls. I don't give a shit. Like, it means nothing to me. It has no bearing on me or who I am, or, you know, but it would just be nice for me because like comments come in and then I'm trying to read a comment, and the more comments come in, it's harder to read them. So it'd be nice if I didn't have to filter through the riffraff. So, oh yeah, Jonathan. Oh, 100%. I did not see you were here. Let me click on your name quick before the comments bump you. I'm making you a moderator. Amen. Thank you. Woohoo. I love my tribe on here. Thank you. So yeah, you're a moderator. Whenever you want to hop on, you're free to moderate. You joined not that long ago. Yeah, but you've been amazing, and like, it's a good vibe. So yeah, thank you. So yay, another moderator. We got to get more moderators in here. It's okay. But yeah, this has been a great chat, guys. Thanks for being here. Jonathan, have you been here for the whole thing, or did you just hop on? Because I think I'm about to hop off soon. But I've been having fun hanging out with you guys. Good talk as always. For anyone new hopping on, if you want to catch the replay of this live and all my other lives, go to my YouTube channel. Every once in a while, like, I don't know why, like, I think it's happened with, I had some issues uploading to YouTube, but then I worked that out. But then like on my TikTok, when I go back to download my lives, some of them says not available, like that there was a glitch or something or an error. So for some of them will be missing, but for the most part, most of the lives get uploaded on my YouTube. So feel free, just click the link in my bio. That way you can catch those. Feel free to give me a follow. That way you get notified next time I go live. Jonathan, yes, I just did, but next time I'll be there to moderate and enjoy the live. Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah. It just because, like, I don't care about the riffraff. It just, like, from a practical standpoint, it would be nice to keep some of it out of here because then I could just focus on, like, talking about what I want to talk about without needing to, like, block people or, you know, all that stuff. Right. Okay. Well, I'm going to hop off, guys. Thanks for being here, everyone who stuck with us from the beginning. I'm sending you guys lots of love. I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. I actually might be able to be on here tomorrow night, so we'll see. Or like tomorrow afternoon, so we'll see. But if not, I'll definitely be on next week. I go live at least once a week. Give me a follow. That way you'll be notified next time I go live. And again, all the ways to connect with me or work with me, link to my bio, okay? I send you guys love. Have a good night. Bye.